The open world acts as a sandbox, giving you the ability to do so many wild, impossible things. And sometimes it's fun to get a little unsportsmanlike. Hi folks, it's Falcon, and today on gameranx, 10 devious things you can do in open world games. Starting off at number 10, getting NPCs to fight each other. Now, I don't know about you, but in every open world game, I eventually get bored and just decide to see what you can do to mess with NPCs. For a lot of games, it amounts to you killing them, but some games have a little bit more going on under the hood, like GTA, for instance, the obvious pick. It can be fun to beat somebody up for no reason, but if you really want to be devious, the better option is to just trick somebody into doing that dirty work for you. This is actually a sign that the NPC AI is good, because there actually are a lot of ways to trick NPCs. You can trigger a gang to attack you and then call the police. You can anger a bunch of taxi drivers, and eventually one is going to punch another one. There's a lot of different possibilities. This is not always easy to actually trigger, but when you do, it's pretty funny to watch it play out. When it comes to NPC fights, the bigger the better, and with GTA, it only gets more chaotic when you call the police. Another game where you can get NPCs to brawl is in Skyrim. Like, throw some weapons down, cast a frenzy spell, and watch an entire city devolve into a bloody riot. These aren't the only games where you can get NPCs to fight, far from it, but it's especially fun to pull off in games like this where you're just doing it to be devious rather than for a gameplay benefit. And number 9, killing guards with their own bullets. When it comes to deviousness, it doesn't get a lot more twisted than this one. Like, Dishonored games give you a lot of tools to mess with your enemies, but probably the most ludicrously complicated means to dispatch a guard is to kill them with their own weapon. Yet, guards aren't exactly the good guys in these games, but they're often pretty neutral, and they do encourage you to spare these guys' lives, usually in morality systems, so killing them in like a convoluted way is kind of an evil action. You'd have to be really evil to go to these lengths to kill one dude. Basically, how it goes is that you alert a guard and wait for them to shoot at you, and then slow down time so that the bullet stops in midair. Then you possess the guard that shot at you, walk them in front of the bullet, leave their body, and turn off slow-mo, and boom, shot with their own bullet. Like I said, it's complicated and it's really wasteful, so it's not practical in any way, it's just devious. It's a hell of a reversal of fortune, let's say. And number 8, you can kill parents and adopt their kids in Skyrim. Like, if that point wasn't evil enough for you, this one will probably do the trick. It's exactly what it sounds like, and while the game does little to acknowledge what you're doing is creepy and evil, it doesn't really matter. You know what you're doing and what's happening here, so that's more than enough to get that proper devious feeling. I mean, think about it. Adopting orphans is a thing they added to Skyrim with the Heathfire expansion, so you can add children to your family by taking them off the street or through the Honor Hall Orphanage in Riften. And while the idea here is good, allowing you to adopt kids of parents that might get killed in a random dungeon attack or something like that, there's also nothing stopping you from just murdering parents and adopting kids. From everything I've read, you can kill the parents in secret so the child never knows, but I'm pretty sure it doesn't actually matter what you do. You can kill the parents right in front of them, and it doesn't really matter. The kid's still coming with you whether they're aware of the murder of the parents or not. Like, maybe they're just completely indifferent about it. I don't know.
You're new around here, so I'll go easy on you. But don't get on my bad side.
Either way, there's something truly devious about killing 2 innocent people so you can take their child. Like, it doesn't even get you anything. It's just a weird, evil thing the game lets you do. And number 7, you can become a hacker menace in the Watch Dogs games. Like, if they're good for anything, these games are great in how much you can screw with NPCs. Watch Dogs 2 in particular really lets you run wild. Like, you can cause these massive traffic accidents, start gang wars, take over people's cars, or generally just cause mayhem while nobody suspects you of anything at all. Like, it's basically you using computers to do stuff that would get you 5-star wanted level in GTA, except no one knows it. Now, you can just brute force your way through the game without using any hacking tricks, but the open world is really most fun when you go nuts with this stuff. Like, start a shootout and then crush people with a crane so they're distracted and have no idea what's happening. You can terrorize pedestrians in a parking lot, and that never gets old. Just turn on a car while they're passing by and watch people panic as they almost get strafed out of nowhere. Leave guards confused and frustrated by following them around with cars. Just remote control a car, drive it into oncoming traffic traffic, the sky's really the limit. It's a series where the tools to mess with NPCs are so easy to access and fully integrated in the game, in a way few games are. So while they're devious, all this stuff in comparison to some other things on this list are relatively easy to pull off. That's probably what makes it one of the best open world games to screw around in, too. There's so much you can do to mess with NPCs, and it's so easy to do. And number 6 is pulling the fire alarm in Bully, another game that gives you a lot of tools to mess with people as Bully. Outside of the normal stuff like shooting NPCs with slingshots and stuffing people in lockers, one particularly devious trick you can pull off involves the boys' dorm, a bunch of marbles, and the fire alarm. Normally, if you do enough stuff to annoy people, you'll get in trouble with the prefect, but one way to get around that is by hiding in a trash can before anything happens, and then nobody will suspect a thing for whatever reason. So to pull this little trick off, you need to throw down some marbles in front of the exit to the boys' dorm, pull the fire alarm, and then hide. Everybody in the building will try to leave the building, but they will slip on the marbles. So everybody is stuck slipping and falling at the front door. From there, you can mess with them even more if you want, but if you stop there, it's a pretty hilarious trick on its own. No joke, I could just watch them try to escape forever. What makes it funny is not just how devious it is, but how effective it is. You'd think somebody would start to notice there's something up, but no, they just keep slipping and falling like dummies for as long as the marbles are active. It's wonderful. And number 5 is throwing NPCs into trunks and sleeping dogs. For a game where you're supposed to be playing as a good guy, sleeping dogs really let you do some pretty nasty stuff. Case in point, whenever you want, you're free to grab an NPC, throw them in the back of a truck, and do whatever. Do stunt jumps, get into police chases. You know, high-octane stuff, all while an innocent person is trapped in the back of your car. And when you're done, you're free to dump the car off of a pier, almost certainly killing your unwitting passenger. It's a simple thing, but it's so easy to do and so pointless most of the time that it can actually be really funny. In comparison to most open-world crime games where you play as the bad guy, the main character of Sleeping Dogs is supposed to be an all-around good guy. So when you do stuff like murder people in cold blood or abduct and murder an innocent person off the streets, it stands out. And for the devious folks, that is a great opportunity. And number 4 is using shock pads to kill and then revive people. A simple but almost cartoonishly evil thing you can do in Saints Row 2. With the shock paddle weapon, you can kill someone, then revive them, bring them back to life, and then kill them again. Getting the shock paddles is easy. You just get into an ambulance, complete a minigame, you got the weapon. It's weaker than the stun gun, but its ability to bring anyone who's died back to life can be incredibly helpful. It's also something you can use to be super evil, though. There's no end to the amount of times you can kill someone with this thing. Murdering a dude for no reason's bad enough, but to be extra devious, you can revive them, kill them again, revive them, kill them again, and so on and so forth. It's a tool that lets you be as needlessly cruel as you want to be, and while in real life that would not be cool at all, it is pretty funny to watch as someone keeps coming back to life only to be killed again. In terms of deviousness, it's not particularly clever, but it's super fun in the same way Saints Row 2 is. It's over the top, ridiculous, and dumb, but it's also really entertaining. And number 3 is sneaking explosives into people's pants in Fallout. Now, just saying that is funny as hell. Just that combination of words, sneaking explosives into people's pants. It never gets old, and what I'm talking about never gets old either. In the Bethesda Fallout games, an easy way to kill your enemies, or really just anyone, at least anyone you could pickpocket, is to go up to them, pickpocket them, open up their inventory, and slip in an explosive weapon. Instead of taking anything, you're actually giving them something, which would seem nice, but on this occasion, that thing you give them is a swift death. And it never stops being funny. There's basically nothing anyone can really do about it as long as no one really knows that you're doing it. Just a string of people's pants exploding, turning them into bloody chunks that it's gross, honestly, and pretty funny. It's also effective in terms of killing enemies, but we're talking about being devious. So it's just as effective clearing out NPCs. There's just something undeniably fun about watching somebody walk around for a second before exploding into a pile of gore that never gets old. It's ridiculous, but it's hilarious they even made this possible. And number 2, you can become a serial killer. So when playing an open world game, Everybody gets bored at some point and decides to go on a rampage. Depending on the game, this can be actually hard or shockingly easy to do, but it's not something I'd describe as devious. Instead, for this point, we're talking about being a less conspicuous killer, like taking out people left and right, but doing it without getting caught. Certain games are especially fun to do this in. Like, obviously, Hitman is great for slowly taking out everyone in an environment, deviously finding ways to dispose of nearly every body in a location without getting caught. It's satisfying and can also be entirely pointless. A lot of open world games punish you for killing people, though, even if they don't catch you doing anything. So being a silent killer isn't as much fun in those, but one game people say is a lot of fun to be a killer is Kingdom Come Deliverance. You can pretty much kill any villager you want, and as long as you do it behind closed doors, nobody's gonna know it was you. First person perspective, it's generally more realistic, so it adds a lot to the experience, and it's not easy to kill people, but you can do it and you can get away with it, so there's a certain fun to be had when you successfully pull it off. Again, it's completely pointless, it's just something to be evil by doing, and in the world of video games, that can be a lot of fun. A lot of games you get police called on you no matter what, but in something like Kingdom Come, as long as you're methodical about it, you can pretty much get away with anything. And finally, tying people up in Red Dead Redemption. There's not much out there that's quite as satisfying as lassoing somebody in RDR. It's just something that's fun to do. From there, you're free to do whatever devious thing you want with them, including feeding them to wild animals, or in classic bad guy style, leaving them on a train track to get run over. You don't get to sort of pull on the end of your devious mustache or anything like that, but you can still do it. In this world, there aren't really any white hat cowboys out there to save them either, so if you tie somebody up and leave them on a train track, they're going to get run over eventually. There's little out there in video games that feels quite this devious. It's such an old-fashioned type of villainy that it's kind of ridiculous, but it's also just super fun to mess around with. The lasso is one of the most entertaining tools ever in an open world game, and the fact you can pretty much do anything people would expect you to be able to do with it is great. Mostly it's used to capture bounties, and it's fairly benign, but the cruelty potential for the lasso is so high that it is inevitable that somebody is going to do something evil with it. That's all for today. Leave us a comment, let us know what you think. If you like this video, click like. If you're not subscribed, now is a great time to do so. We upload brand new ones every day of the week. The best way to see them first is a subscription, so click subscribe. Don't forget to enable notifications so you do not miss them, and we thank you very much for watching this one. I'm Falcon. You can follow me on Twitter at Falcon the Hero. We'll see you next time right here on gameranx.